Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting stuck into something really crucial for anyone in innovation, especially tech startups. It's that gap, that chasm, really,
Yeah.
between brilliant tech and the big enterprise retailers they need as partners. You can have amazing AI, right?
Mhm.
But making it mean something, making it translate into actual business value for those decision makers, that's a whole different ballgame. How do you make it land?
That's exactly the challenge. And our mission in this deep dive is pretty clear. There's just explore how to bridge that gap effectively. We're looking at some really sharp insights from Shishi S. She's a global retail startups lead, top AI voice. And her core idea is simple but powerful. It's about speaking the language of the customer.
Right.
So for you listening, this isn't just about retail. It's a way to think about communicating value in any big industry. Whether you're building something or maybe evaluating new tech, these ideas should help you make that connection.
Okay, let's unpack this. So, where does it usually go wrong right at the start? I see this a lot. Startups come in, totally fired up about their tech, understandably. They lead with, our AI uses advanced predictive analytics. Or it's all buzzwords, blockchain, edge compute, whatever's hot.
Exactly. All features, all the what.
Yeah. And retailers, they just sort of glaze over, don't they?
They do. And it's not because the tech isn't impressive. It often is. But what's fascinating here is that retailers don't run their business on algorithms per se. They manage by KPIs, key performance indicators. They aren't buying AI, they're buying solutions. They want, well, better margins. They want inventory that moves. They want happier customers.
So it's outcomes they care about.
Precisely. They think in terms of inventory turns, gross margin, sales per square foot, maybe NPS, Net Promoter Score. If your amazing tech doesn't clearly connect to those numbers in their language, it's just noise.
Yeah.
That features versus outcomes thing is so fundamental. It's like selling an engine by talking piston metallurgy when the buyer just wants better miles per gallon. So, this framework you mentioned from Shish S, the 8 ways to win in retailing, how does that help bridge the gap?
Right. It's a really smart way to ground the conversation. It gives the startup's pitch a strategic anchor, something familiar to the retailer. Its purpose is essentially to map out the battlefield, how retailers think about competing and growing.
A map, I like that. Gives it structure. So what are the landmarks on this map?
Well, think of it visually. It breaks down into 8 levers, split into 2 groups. There's the pentagon, 5 customer-facing levers, and then the triangle, 3 operational levers powering things behind the scenes.
Okay, pentagon and triangle. Got it. Let's start with the customer side, the pentagon.
Sure. First is place. Where and how customers shop stores, online, convenience, the whole channel mix. Then product, what you actually sell. The assortment, is it in stock? Availability is huge here. Third, value, pricing, promotions, basically. Does the customer feel they're getting their money's worth? Fourth, people, the human touch, store staff, customer service quality, hugely important. And fifth, communication, marketing, loyalty programs, how you talk to and engage customers.
Okay, those 5 make sense. Place, product, value, people, communication. That covers the customer experience. Now the triangle, the operational side.
Yep, the engine room. First, systems. This is the tech infrastructure planning tools, automation, AI, analytics. Second, logistics, the whole supply chain, getting goods from A to B efficiently, fulfillment. And third, suppliers, managing those relationships, sourcing products, cost of goods.
So the idea is any new tech, any innovation, it has to pull one or more of these levers. Otherwise,
It risks being irrelevant.
yeah.
It might be cool tech, but if it doesn't clearly strengthen place or improve logistics or enable people, then why should a retailer care? It becomes a solution looking for a problem.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this framework helps you pinpoint where your solution actually fits into their strategy.
Exactly. It's a strategic storytelling tool.
Yeah.
And for you listening, it's a great mental model for analyzing any retail business, identifying where the real opportunities might be.
Okay, that's super helpful for framing the why. But like you said, retailers live by their dashboards, numbers. It's not enough to say we improve logistics. They need to know, okay, so what metric gets better by how much?
Precisely. Now we get concrete. The Playbook groups the KPIs into 3 main buckets. You don't need to memorize them all, but you need the language. First,
Yeah.
customer-facing metrics. These reflect shopper interaction and sales. Well, sales per square foot, classic for physical stores. Traffic and conversion rate, average transaction value or ATV, and Net Promoter Score, NPS. How happy are your customers? Are they recommending you? Also things like in-stock rate.
Okay, things directly tied to the shopping experience and sales results. Makes sense. What's next?
Operational efficiency metrics. This is about how smoothly the business runs internally. Think inventory turnover, how fast stock sells. Really critical, tied up cash, right? Or GMROI, gross margin return on inventory. That's a good one. Links profit directly to inventory costs. How hard is your inventory working for you? Also, labor productivity, shrinkage rate, loss, theft, and on-time in-full delivery, OTIF, for supply chains.
Right, the engine room metrics. Efficiency, speed, cost control.
Exactly. And the third bucket is financial performance metrics, the big picture, board-level stuff, gross margin percentage, operating margin, EBITDA. Ultimately, this is where operational improvements should show up. Also, sales growth, same-store sales, and the cash conversion cycle, how fast you turn inventory into cash.
Okay, 3 buckets: customer, operational, financial. Lots of acronyms, lots of numbers. But the key isn't just knowing them, it's connecting your solution to them, right? That narrative you mentioned.
Yes. Here's where it gets really interesting. The structure is simple. We help you win on pick a lever, like logistics, by improving pick a specific KPI, like inventory turnover by X%, which leads to tangible business outcome, like reduced markdowns and freed up cash.
Okay. So we boost your logistics lever by increasing inventory turnover, which cuts your markdown losses.
Exactly that. Suddenly, you're not talking abstract tech. You're talking their language, their problems, their goals, their numbers. And mastering this language helps you articulate value way beyond just a sales pitch. It's understanding business performance.
That structure feels very powerful. Clear ROI. But, facts tell, stories sell. Numbers are crucial, but a good story makes it stick, makes it real. Which brings us to storytelling and this whitest array example.
Absolutely. Data needs a narrative. The classic story arc works wonders. Setup, conflict, resolution, results. Let's look at Wade D-Stream. They're a Microsoft for Startups company tackling dead stock unsold inventory. The case study involves Douglas, the big European beauty retailer.
Okay, set the scene. What was the setup?
Classic retail problem. Douglas had loads of perfectly good products stuck in some stores, just not selling there, capital tied up, markdowns looming. Meanwhile, other Douglas stores were out of stock on those exact same items. Huge imbalance.
Frustrating. So the conflict.
The conflict was that their existing systems, their traditional way of operating, couldn't fix it. Dead stock was just accepted.
Right.
A hard fact of retail. Management had basically baked those losses into the plan. It felt unsolvable.
An accepted inefficiency.
Okay, so resolution. Udalistry comes in.
Right. UD3 brings in their AI platform. Crucially, it wasn't about buying more stock or just liquidating the old stuff cheap. Their AI analyzed sales data across the network, pinpointed where those dead items would sell, and orchestrated the transfers between stores. Smart reallocation. Moving existing inventory to where it's actually wanted. Clever. And the results.
Pretty stunning, actually. Hard numbers. 90%, 90 of the products YD flagged and moved were sold within 3 months. They monetized 75% of stuff previously deemed unsellable. This translated to a 12% drop in working capital needs, and get this, a 32% reduction in total inventory, with no hit to availability.
Wow, those are serious numbers. 32% less inventory overall.
Serious numbers, and you can map it straight back to the levers. They improved product, availability where needed, logistics, smart inventory movement, and systems, AI-driven insight. Such a clear example of how tackling a known problem, framed strategically, delivers massive value. It makes you rethink what's possible.
That really brings it to life, turning a hard fact into hard results. And that idea of a hard fact problem leads to another point, right? About matching your go-to-market strategy, your GTM, to the type of problem. You mentioned the Sequoia ARC framework.
Yeah, this raises an important question. What kind of problem are you actually solving? Because how you approach the market should change accordingly. Sequoia's framework identifies 3 archetypes: hard fact, hair on fire, and future vision.
Okay, explain those. Your distruse sounds like hard fact.
Exactly. Douglas saw dead stock as unavoidable. For hard fact problems, where the inefficiency is just accepted, your GTM needs to prove it's not inevitable. You need that solid ROI data we talked about. You need a consultative approach, building trust. Success stories like the Douglas one are gold. You're changing minds.
Right. What about hair on fire? Sounds urgent.
It is. This is an immediate critical pain. Think a major system crash, a huge data breach, a sudden compliance nightmare. The GTM here is all about immediate relief. Speed. We stop the bleeding now. Risk mitigation. Crisis resolution. Very direct.
Got it. And future vision.
This is for opportunities or problems that aren't top of mind yet. Maybe it's exploring the metaverse for retail or totally new personalization models. Here, the GTM is more educational. You start with pilots, thought leadership. You're painting a picture of what could be, planting seeds for the future, not putting out a fire or fixing a known, accepted flaw.
Different problems, different playbooks. You can't sell a future vision like you're fixing a crisis.
You really can't. And the core message, regardless of the archetype, comes back to this. Your tech, your AI, your platform isn't the product itself. The outcome it delivers, measured in their metrics, tied to their strategy. That's the product. Shish S calls it message market fluency. Getting that right, tailoring your approach is crucial, whether you're selling, proposing an internal project, even just framing an idea.
So what does this all mean? Let's boil it down for everyone listening. Whether you're that startup founder, maybe a retail leader, or just interested in innovation, success really seems to hang on building that bridge, connecting tech to the business reality, and speaking the right language, KPIs, strategic levers. It's about showing undeniable impact.
That's it. That's the heart of it. And the real magic, I think, happens when solutions aren't just clever, but they're strategically grounded and communicated in clear business terms. So the challenge for you is to always ask, okay, what specific KPI does this actually move? Which of those 8 strategic levers does it strengthen for this audience? Think about how that message market fluency could change things for you, moving beyond just features to delivering outcomes that truly matter, that are maybe even indispensable. That's how innovation really takes hold.